Let me begin with asking you, in your own words, if you hear the word diabetes, what do you think about?
I think about people that have a problem with their sugar and all. My father actually, he died at, I was a small child, he was in a car wreck, but he was a borderline diabetic. And my mother was a nurse. So I did know a lot about health issues, growing up. But I do know my father, like I say, he was a borderline diabetic, and my mother always made sure that we, pretty much, me and my brother, she didn't want us to get diabetes.
Right.
And because she could see the effects of it, in her job. And I also, I have friends and their family members, but now no one in my immediate family has diabetes. I personally was checked for it one time. I started having some symptoms, I'd say about 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I started having some, I just passed out a couple of times. I started having a blurry vision and several things. So my doctor had me tested, but I was fine.
Mm-hmm.
They found a deficiency in some vitamin or something that I needed, but it wasn't that. So that kind of woke me up too, and I thought, because I remembered, my daddy being a borderline diabetic, that it very much, could carry on with me. But and I've seen people and know people that have lost limbs, have gone blind. So it's a dreaded disease.
Is that something you commonly see here?
I see it. Yes, ma'am. A good deal. A lot of our clientele are African Americans in our store, and I know I get tickled at them sometimes. They'll order they'll get some kind of meat or something. They'll say, "I really shouldn't eat that," or say, "It's not good for my blood. It's not good for my sugar. It's not good for my heart." And I said, "Well, we got other things you can eat. We've got turkey and we've got things that." But people tend to, I don't know. I think until something drastic happens to you, it seems like you have to get the disease before you try to prevent it. Sometimes people just, they want to eat what they want to eat. And I know diet and exercise is two of the biggest things, for diabetes. Because I have read and seen where people have changed their diet and exercised and lost weight, and they were able to get off of their insulin. Isn't that wonderful?
It is a wonderful thing.
If people would just do right, but I know I'm always on a diet for weight, and I don't do. If I do right, I would be a size 8 today.
Well, I'm interested in your comments about people coming into the store. So you say you have a grocery?
We have a little convenience store here in Macon, not far from here. And we, like I say, our clientele, I would say 99% is African American. And there's a lot of diabetes, and and I try to influence these people in many ways, not only by eating, but spiritually, different ways. Trying to talk to them, because I consider a lot of them my good friends. They are my friends, and because when I did move here years ago, and then got the chamber job, I really tried to bring the races together. I guess somebody told me I could get away with it because I wasn't a blue blood. Y'all have to cut this out of here, right? But they said you're a transfer and you want to change things. I want just make things better. But like I said, growing up with my mother being a nurse, I heard a lot of things about health issues all my life, and but I didn't want to be a nurse because my mother worked too hard. I used to tell Mama, you just work too hard, I don't want to be a nurse. But they're in the store, because people, we just are kind of like a family. We're really one of the last mom and pop stores left. We get to know these people, and they get to know us, and they tell us our problems, and we talk, and I try to influence them in good ways, and like I say, if they'll tell me I shouldn't be eating this, I said, well, don't eat it. And they look at me. I said, well, yeah, Miss Dorothy, you don't want to sell us nothing, do you? I said, yeah, but I said, if that's not good for you, get some turkey or get the all-meat bologna, sauce. They want, that sauce, and it's something. The sauce is always telling me they don't need to eat for some reason, and I guess it's something that's in there. I'm not sure, but we sell a lot of it, and bacon. They tell me I shouldn't be eating a lot of bacon. I said, well, just eat one slice and don't eat 6. But some people listen and some people don't.
I was going to say, do you do any good?
Some people, that made a very few, very few, I would say, would listen, because I can see in their how they look, and and then when they really get sick, they'll say, "Oh, I should be doing this. My doctor told me not to eat this, not to eat that." They'll come in there and say, "My doctor told me not to eat this, but I want one slice." I said, "Well, one slice, once in a while is better than I just want a little taste,
Right.
So, but it's just people, they love to do what they want to do, and not exactly what's best for them.
Well, I don't have a solution for that yet. Do you?
No, I don't. It's going to take, I don't know, we talk about that a lot, about how you can change, a generation. I think a lot of it is if you could ever get people to take the first kindergarten, I guess, but how many people are you going, it's just a commitment. People have to commit to something and take a kindergarten class and really make sure they do right all their lives. I don't know, it's going to take a commitment on parents. I don't know. I don't think you're going to ever see that. But
Well, how do you think, living in this community, how do you think that we might be able to reach parents?
I know they've tried through the extension department, and I know through the hospital, they've had health days and things like that, and through the schools. But I'm going to tell you, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, I appreciate that.
There are a lot of parents, and when I say parents, there's a lot of single mother parents. They don't want to cook. They don't want to do anything. They want to feed their children Hot Pockets and chips every day for lunch and maybe breakfast. Something that's easy. And I tell you though, who cooks? It's the grandmothers that are left. And that generation is dying off. But because I know we have one lady that works for us, and she cooks healthy for her family. And they have good things to eat. And but I just hate to, it's the honest truth. These mothers, they don't want to go to the trouble.
Do you think that?
And see, that's our business, though. We have, I don't know if you know what I'm saying. I don't want to hurt our business, but I want to tell you the truth about it.
Well, how do we? I think there's a lot of young people that don't know how to cook.
They don't. Now, all three of my children can cook. I made sure of that, at least the basics. And of course, my daughter, she knows how to do more. But I tell you what, you want to, if you want to make some of these single mothers do right about their children, threaten to take away some of that money. You know what I'm saying? They get food stamps. I mean, there's no excuse for them not to be able to, to feed their children healthy. But it's got to take somebody in that family to be willing to cook. I see a lot of the dads that are involved, some of them, they grill. They love to grill. They love to barbecue. But that's fine. I know my husband loves to grill, but he puts a lot of stuff on his. I tell him, just leave mine pretty much plain. And but he wants to put the barbecue sauce and all that, But I really, my heart goes out to the kids here. I love these children. And I know when I was mayor, I did an Easter egg hunt. I would try to do things for these kids, and even as a store owner, I try to do things for them. There's one little girl that she and I have kind of bonded, and when she makes good grades, I take her out to supper, and we do things together. And but you really, I'm gonna tell you, it's just some of these people are just spoiled. They're spoiled by the government.
And of course, right now our government's having, in general, all kinds of problems.
Yes.
Economics. So it's a wonderful opportunity right now, I think, to make some changes, but identifying what are the right changes to make. So if we, I always kind of think, well, we know what the problems are.
Right.
But what's the solution?
Solutions. Well, I know my husband was telling me the other day that he was some states trying to pass a law where if you draw unemployment for 90 days, and you still don't have a job after 90 days, that you will have to join the National Guard and do the duties here on America's soil because of all the guys and girls that are over there. And I said, well, that's a great idea. He said, it'll give them able-bodied people that are able-bodied. I said, that's a great idea. And they'd start getting an income and, maybe building some pride in their life and actually maybe enjoying it, And there was another place where they were talking about doing another state doing something like that too. And I said, I think it's going to take. It looks like it's going to take it's going to take states. It looks like. I don't believe it's going to come from Washington.
Yeah.
I hate to say that,
it's going to come at the state level.
I've been in politics, and I tell you, I found out I didn't know what politics was about till I got in it. Because I got in it because of the love and the heart. I wanted to. I wanted to serve the people and do good things and make things better for them, my children, grandchildren. Of course, all three of my children don't live here now. They've gone to find jobs and better opportunities somewhere else. And which, and I hated when they all had to leave, but I know it was for the best because they have good opportunities where they're at and more things, but like I say, it's going to take. I think it's by the states. The states are going to have to make some changes in some things. And
all right, so let's talk about how do you make local change.
Local changes.
Right? How do right
here
at
in
the
Macon
county,
or the
right
Noxubee County.
Yeah, right here in Noxubee County. How do we make some positive change so that we, encourage healthier lifestyles,
right.
use of better foods, access to better foods. Increase the physical activity.
That's one of the main things because I see a lot of obesity. Of course, when we see these, but I see a lot of obesity here. I don't think they have the PE class. PE, I don't believe that is. I know when I was growing up, I played basketball and I did everything, and I was outside. But see, these computers, we didn't have computers when we were growing up, and I want to thank the Lord I didn't. But see, that's another thing. That's become a babysitter. But I think, personally, I think that the cities, I know myself, but of course I can't speak for this mayor or this board or the other two mayors, but I think they should try to find programs and things. I wanted to build some playground areas, in each area. There's nothing like that. The swimming pool they're fixing to put dirt in it. They're closing it because it was going to be too much to repair. Well, I don't agree with that. If I'd been the mayor, that would have never happened. That was one activity that's gone. There's no playgrounds. There's a walking track, but which is good, and I fought to get that. But I think you're going to have to take your different agencies, just like this agency, your chamber, any agency that's here, the cities. I was trying to think, like your little leagues. Of course, everybody's not going to play little league.
Exactly.
So you need to have another outlet for those children that don't want to play ball. Just like I started an exercise class at my church, and every time, and we just started it this week. I've been trying to get it going. Can't get anybody to want to participate. I'm thinking, people, help me. But I think we're offering it to people outside our church. You don't have to be a member. All you have to do is sign a little paper that you won't sue us if you get hurt.
Right.
But I think the churches. I think the churches need to sponsor more activities. Things that, I tell you what kids love to do. And I was PTA president one year. When we have our Halloween carnival, we would have all kind of games that they would play, and then we'd have things in the summer where they do sack races. Children love competition.
Yes.
Even bicycle races, tricycle races. There's a lot, but you're gonna have to have the leadership in these out. Somebody wants in, I believe. But it depends on the leadership now. Don't you agree?
Yes. Well, leadership's always important.
And I even had a pink line walk. Remember, I was the mayor, where we walked from Winter to the hospital. I had swim with the mayor. I tried to do things to get people active in many ways, and we had fun runs. We had all kinds. But I ain't seen nothing like that in years.
Yeah.
I got out in 2005. And my heart still wants to, but I'm not involved in anything. And could this be off the record? But he made sure that I couldn't come back to do anything anymore in this county. I can't even, I was the Main Street director. I was a lot of, he has the power to make sure that I'm not owed anything anymore.
So,
but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, Lord will take care of everybody in the end.
That's right.
But I still love this community. But I think that's an answer right there.
Yeah.
Each community has got to sponsor things that get the people active. And I'm going to tell you, kids will come to things like that. If you have a...
What about transportation? Because, you know, you have quite a bit of territory.
Yeah, well, I believe
out.
the schools system, I believe they pick up kids for summer programs and everything. We worked with them before on some things. When they have the parades, Christmas parades and high school parades and things, they use the buses, you know. So I don't think that would be a problem. If you could get everybody to come together, I think with all the agencies you've got in the 3 cities in the county, you could sit down and make up a calendar for the year, and each one divide it up. Wouldn't fall on too many people. You know what I'm saying? You have January, you do something, you know, for the county. You know, but come up with all the ideas, all the things you want to do,
Right.
and divide it up and make sure that it had some activity where they would be active. You know, if it's cold, you got gyms. We got the new civic center out here that I went to Washington D.C. that he'll get. And I mean, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I wanted something for the people. We didn't have anywhere to have anything, and that was a dream for 10 years. I started that dream at the chamber. They got it now. You can have a nice, you know, they can have they have dances. They
It's
have
a wonderful facility. I
Yeah.
had a chance to be out there.
We went to Washington D.C. and begged for that money, and we got $1 million. And you know, and then the arena out there. I had my Easter egg hunt out there, and but you could have. I know Marty has tried to do some things with like well, of course, we got the Dance Rabbit Festival, which me and Dennis and a lot of them got started years ago. But I wanted to have more than just the Dance Rabbit. I wanted to have a blues festival. I got to move somewhere so I can help
So
somebody.
you have some dreams.
I still dream, yes ma'am, at
Well,
63.
you know, that's good. You know, if you lose the dream, I
But
think.
I really, and you know,
yeah.
it just have, get the hot, you know, the hot, when we were running things, or when I say the chamber, the EDA and the city, I would work with all the agencies and we would try to do things. And like I said, but when you got 3 aldermen fighting you all the time, that makes it difficult.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that I wanted to happen couldn't happen then because it just takes 3 votes to get you down.
Yeah.
And you know, we even had a thing for the Humane Society for the pets and things here. We had a dog wedding. I got criticized on that because this lady, one of my best friends, says it's sacrilegious to marry 2 dogs. I said, "Oh, Miss Norma, we were just funny." And you ought to see me. I was in a black and white dog Dalmatian suit. I would do anything, you know. Things like that don't bother me. And it just like, and we had a big thing in July whenever Tommy Hamill, the guy that had gotten captured. I don't know if you remember that. We had a guy captured in Iraq. And we did a lot. We had a big celebration when he came home, and we honored our veterans, and it was a beautiful day, and I was going to make that a annual. Well, needless to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got, it's what the people in office and in these offices, are they here to serve the people? They're here to serve themselves. And some people I'm afraid to say.
Yeah.
And the good people and people that want to do the right thing, the corruption has just gotten so big. In politics. But that doesn't say that you can't get something done. You might have to just use your chamber and EDA and your extension department.
Well, the coalition is, you know, we have some funding.
Right.
And it's a 5-year grant.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the end of the first year, and we have 4 more to go. And so we have the potential to work with the community people and local representatives and agencies to really move forward and make some changes.
Right.
I hope you'll get involved.
Well, if I'm allowed to.
Well, you're definitely allowed to. This is not a political group,
Okay.
right?
Well,
This
yes,
is
I
not-
would look. You know, I really haven't. I do a lot at my church. I put a lot of, you know, my energy in my church and my grandchildren. We have 8 grandchildren. So, like tonight, I'm going to a Little League All-Star game. you know, I try to be a good example for my grandchildren and want to, you know, be there for them. And my husband, like I say, bless his heart, he works about 70 hours a week. And of course, when I lost my job, we had to make up a lot of extra money.
That's right.
Whenever, you
Things
know,
change.
that was devastating. I'm going to tell you, things were really devastating there for a while. But with the Lord's goodness, He's got us through it, and we're doing okay. I told somebody we're doing okay. We're making it.
That's good.
And but my heart, I still, you know, I yearn to do things.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I know the Lord, that was one of my talents. And like I said, I don't mind putting on a dancing rabbit suit. Do a girl. I don't mind.
Well,
you know what I'm saying. I still love the people here.
Yeah.
And I wanted to still do some things, but I wasn't allowed to.
well, we're just going to have to find some new avenues.
Yes,
That's all.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Excuse me, I'm very emotional.
That's all right. There's nothing wrong with emotion, is it? Because it comes from the heart. It's
Yes,
a good
ma'am.
thing.
Gotten off of diabetes about a
Well,
long
that-
time
no.
ago. No, I didn't.
Well, but I think we're okay because really you talked about a lot of things that have to do with making change, and that's
Right.
really what we're looking for: is
Right.
how to make some positive changes
Yes,
and to
ma'am.
have a little fun along the
Sure,
way
sure.
and enjoy,
Right.
but also in the end create some more opportunity for a healthier,
Right, right.
better quality lives.
Right. And like I said, the exercise, we even had, over the years, I think I've been involved in about 5 different exercise programs. We've even had some here. And like I said, I've got this one, trying to get this one started at my church. And, you know, and we want to try to help people physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Exactly.
And I think all 3 of that goes together.